friends, welcome back to my channel and to another accountability vlog. So today is Saturday. It is almost 1:30. I am hoping to do a 2-hour writing session today, but just to get you up to speed on the 2 days since we've last chatted. Thursday did not do any writing, did training. It was a training day, so did not do anything there. I did do a little bit, I lied. I did do some outlining for the duology deal. I had an idea, so I just threw it in there, and so we'll circle back. That's for like book 2 stuff. So nothing really for this book. And then Friday did not write either. Like I said, I wanted to. I just really was feeling like I wanted to play some video games. Essentially is what that is. I was like, you know what? It's been kind of one of those weeks, so I'm gonna treat myself, and I know I'll hit it hard this weekend, so at least 2-hour blocks is my goal for each day. So yeah, that's kind of, you're up to speed now at this point. Pretty much plan is, again, 2-hour writing block. I'm hoping to finish this chapter, maybe a little bit more. I don't know how long this chapter is gonna be, but I was able to figure out some of the logistic side of things, so I just need to put it down on paper essentially now. I am going to get started on writing here shortly, and then I am gonna eat some food before getting going because I am pretty hungry, but I wanted to just jump in and say hi, hello, hope you're doing good, and give you a super brief update along with the game plan, which I told you what it was. Don't have a word count goal. Again, my goal for this weekend is hopefully to get through this whole escape plot point that I'm working on, and basically onto the next level, or to the open world, so to speak. So I am hoping that will be something I can achieve this weekend, which will be huge. That will be a huge milestone for me. I feel like, again, I've been in this particular area of this scene of the world, I guess, where I'm like, oh my god, I'm seeing like the same 4 walls essentially. So again, in my previous video, I was talking about how I have so much just angst, and like I'm just itching to go out adventuring, and I'm channeling that into Celia and her ordeal and what's going on. So hopefully that comes through on the page. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Cross that bridge when we get to it. But again, my goal probably today is to hopefully finish at least my chapter, and on to the next if I can. We'll see what the time looks like and how I'm feeling. Yeah, I think that's it. It's supposed to rain. We're supposed to have like a little bit of rainstorm, which honestly is what we need. The entire state is on fire, literally. If you know, you know. It's so bad right now. Like, I have ash all over my patio and on the car and stuff. No fatalities though, from what I've last read on our biggest fire, at least. So thank God for that. But again, it's really bad. So hopefully this rain will help a little bit. But we've had scattered thunderstorms in the last few days, so it is supposed to cool off too. But anyways, enough about the weather. Hopefully that will kind of help set the vibe a little bit more too, is having some thunder and rain. I would be so about it. So anywho, enough chatting. I am going to go eat some food and then get into it, and we will talk more when I'm done with a little bit of an update. So talk to you soon. Bye. Hi guys. Sorry about the glare. I'll try and keep my head there, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, I just finished writing. It is currently just about 5:30. My 2-hour session ended up being almost 3 hours. My chest feels hot. It was such just like an intense moment of just like part of this escaping, and I just, oh my god, there's so many things we need to talk about. So to start from the beginning, chapter 10 is done, officially done. It ended up being 3,193 words, so lots. And I started with this chapter at like 980, give or take a little bit. So how much did I end up writing for this session? 2,263. Damn, Tina, I put in some work today. So yeah, that kind of sounds about right. I started slow, was kind of almost gonna quit at the hour mark and be like, you know what, we'll try a little bit later. And then I was like, no, I told myself I was gonna finish this chapter, and I did. I really stuck it out, and like the last bit, it really just like picked up, it ramped up. And I was in the middle of typing like this dialogue part or whatever, and it's like in the middle of an action scene, and I was trying to do the italicized or the key combo for it, and all of a sudden my screen or my page went blank and my heart dropped. I literally thought I just deleted that whole chapter and I was gonna be devastated. I was like, I don't think I would have it in me to start this for like a few days. And so I was like, no freaking way. So I paused, obviously, and I stopped typing, and I like looked and I was like, oh no, I just ended up creating a new chapter. Apparently I did the right key combo because I was like quickly doing it. So I think I hit the right key combo where it ended up adding a new chapter. I don't know what that is for Scrivener, but that's what happened. So that was very stress inducing, and I never want to experience that ever again. Thank you very much. Lots of things. That, as I was saying, was so intense. It was just, everything coming, the action is officially happening and the escaping is officially happening. And I like how I did it. I'm sure I'm going to have to fine tune some details of it, but I like the general gist of how that has laid out. So we're still obviously mid-escape, but it's officially happening. They're actively in it right now. Ended up being 9 pages with my current format, which is awesome. This is leading into my previous written segment that I did. It looks like it's about, oh damn. It looks like I've written about 3 pages, 1,173 words of this previous scene that I was telling you about in the last time. I'm gonna move this so. The previous scene, I was telling you that I was like, yeah, I just had the thought and I like wrote it down or whatever, and I'll probably have to edit it as I get to it. And yeah, and I was like, it's probably like half a page or like a page. We don't really know. We'll know when we get to it. And I'm like, damn, apparently it's more than that. It's 3 pages. So that's cool. But again, I'm going to have to read through it. But basically, this previous chapter that I just did is leading directly into it, which was the plan. Yeah. So super intense. Very happy with it. Yeah, I again wrote an hour more than I had planned. I honestly couldn't tell you what it is average-wise, but wrote a lot today. Very happy with it. Planning on writing some more tomorrow. Again, trying to shoot for a 2-hour session, but if I'm feeling it, I am feeling it. And I don't know how much I'll end up writing tomorrow because it's going to be partial editing that scene and then probably adding into it. So yeah, we'll cross that bridge tomorrow when we get to it. But I think I might hit my goal of like the full escaping and all of that happening this weekend. So we'll see. But again, very happy with what happened. I'm still like feeling like was holding my breath for like half that chapter when I was in the middle of like fight sequence and like just the whole when everything was actually happening. And then obviously when the page disappeared, I didn't feel like I was breathing at all. I was absolutely terrified. I was so terrified that I just erased that whole chapter. So glad that's not the case. And also, I don't know, I'm guessing even if you delete something on Scrivener, you'll be able to find it or like be able to revert to previous, like the reverse button, I guess. I don't know if that's a thing. Hopefully I don't have to experience that ever again. But note to self, don't just be button mashing on the keyboard. That's a problem. Chapter is done. total word count for that chapter is 3,193 words, which is amazing. So yeah, I will on to the next chapter, on to the next phase of this escape. So we'll talk more tomorrow. Thanks for being here. But yeah, chat with you tomorrow. Bye. Hi, hello, happy Sunday, good morning. It is currently almost 8:25 and I am sleepy. I'm very sleepy, but today is the last Sunday of the month, which means it is Sunday morning at the bar gym where, it's just for a couple hours in the morning from like 10 to 12 usually. And I think it's supposed to be a little bit shorter today, but we'll see. But since I'm awake, I figured I might as well kind of dive in on my story a little bit and start editing that scene that I wrote because past Cass really came through for me. So we love her for that. So just a little bit of more information. First off, how rude of me, but like, how are you? I hope you had a wonderful Saturday. Happy weekend. And it is chilly this morning, so hopefully you have nice weather where you are. But to me, this is nice. I love it. Anyways, now that we got the niceties out of the way, I was just thinking about this last night. I typically write in chronological order. So obviously the first chapter being the initial scene that I thought that really, cascaded into this whole thing as of now. So that's really cool to see. And that was done, I think, January or maybe like right before Christmas. It was around there that I decided to put words on the page. And sorry for my husky voice. And I think I wrote like another chapter, like chapter 2 or so. And then I had another thought. My brain be thinking things, but I ended up writing like part of the escape, if you will. And so I jot that down, which is what we're looking at today. And I just remember like as I was writing all these chapters, I kept moving this particular scene because I had no idea when it was going to happen. I think I moved to like chapter 5 initially. And then when I got to chapter 5, I was like, oh yeah, we're not ready for that. We're so not ready for that. And then it was chapter 10 per my outline after I finally outlined. And then obviously I just got, the last few chapters, I was like, no, after I kind of went AWOL off my outline, it kind of bumped everything down one or up one. It moved it around. And so now it is chapter 11. So it's only a 1 chapter difference than what I had per my outline. Even though right now I had it tentatively written as chapter 12 because I was like, it's got to be happening soon. We're getting to that point. And then after I wrote that outline, I went back to like chapter 3 or 4 or something. And chapter 4, I remember I was kind of just like stuck on for a while. Or maybe it was 5. Anyways, I was kind of stuck on it for a while. I just didn't really know what I wanted to do. And this was pre-outline. So sorry, I'm a little all over the place. Forgive me. So that was pre-outline. I kind of just didn't really know what I needed to do or what I wanted to do. So it took me a long time just to kind of get through that chapter because a lot of it was like more groundwork and it was kind of just not boring, but it was like essential where it's like there's not really action happening, things like that. And then I went through chapter 5 and then I like ran past this idea past my husband and we realized I was like, nah, this stuff that I'm talking about in this old chapter 5 shouldn't be happening yet. It's too early in the story to really be talking about stuff like that. So went back to the drawing board. I literally just like copy and pasted and moved both chapter 4 and 5 because they were kind of like in tandem with each other. And moved those to just like extra chapters or whatever, like just off to the side essentially. And I was like, I am going to use this. It's just not now. And I will likely be rephrasing that and stuff and like changing the editing because this is all going to happen later in the story, which is in a different area of the world. So that was kind of a sad day, to be honest, when I was like, oh, I had to rewrite chapter 4 and 5. Damn. Hate that. But look at us now. We're absolutely thriving. Anyways, I then had a thought, a couple of chapters, after I finished like chapter 6 or 7 maybe. No, that's not right. Around the same time. I want to say it's around the same time I made all these adjustments with chapter 4 and 5. Pre-filming. Let me just get that straight. Pre-filming. I had a dream that was kind of in congruence with my story, and I really loved it. And it was one that I kind of stewed on for a little bit, where I was like, ooh, like that really just stuck in my brain. I really liked it because the idea of it was perfect for how I want. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it was just exactly what I was looking for a prologue. So I ended up putting it in as a prologue. And granted, my prologue is so short. Is there like a prologue length, like minimum for them? I don't think so. But this one's like super short, which is kind of the purpose. I wanted it to be like shorter, where it's just like a glimpse of the past, essentially. It's just like it's highlighting a thing that's very pivotal for, well, I don't know if it's pivotal, but it's a very important piece to the story. And we'll touch on that here in the next couple chapters, but it was one where it's like, it's very important for her. And it's kind of just part of her past as well. So again, it's super short. Like I'm talking about it being 277 words. It's not even like a full page. It's almost, but it's not even a full page. And I feel like that's like perfect, where it's just like a brief little glimpse and then we get into the thick of it, essentially. So yeah. So aside from like those two scenes, I pretty much have been writing in chronological order, which is kind of how I want it to be. I mean, if I think of more scenes that I'm like, ooh, that needs to be done, I'll like write it and like throw it further down the chapter lines, or like further down the chapters until I find like a good home for it. Whew. Needless to say, we are on chapter 11, which I need to fix that. So chapter 11, past self, past Cass, coming through for us. She wrote, oops, that was my alarm, that if I'm not up by this time, I need to get up. So excuse me on that. Forgot I had it on. So this scene, again, part of the escape, I am definitely needing, I haven't really read it through yet. That's the whole point of this morning. But it is, as I was saying, it is 3 pages, 1,173 words, which is great. And my goal is for this morning, pretty much contributing to my 2-hour writing block. So I probably won't do 2 hours back to back, clearly, because I have to go to the gym. Well, I don't have to, but I get to. And I want to. So I am going to spend at least an hour this morning just editing through, or if I get done a little bit earlier than that, cool. It's probably going to take up majority of the time, because I do know that I am writing in past tense, which I've been typically writing in present tense. So I do need to adjust some of that, and also adding information that is clearly no longer relevant. That's currently in the scenes. I got to get rid of that and adding stuff that is related to, that's happened before. So it's, we got consistency across, like, with wounds and stuff like that, like very much consistent in that area. So that is my plan for this morning, is to start doing that. If I get a little bit extra time, I'll probably write some more, but I think this hour and just today in general, I'm not going to count this towards my number count or my word count for the day, because it's already written and I've already been counting it towards my 20,000 words in my current total. So I'm not going to count it today. It's just whatever in addition I do is what I'll count. So it's probably going to be lower than what it was like yesterday, which was insane. Totally locked in. Totally freaking locked in, which was crazy considering I wanted to stop after an hour. And I was like, no, I told myself I was going to finish this chapter, and look at us. We did it. We. Anyways, so yeah, let's get into it. I got my coffee and let's get back on the grind. Talk to you in a little bit. welcome back. All right, it is only been like 40 minutes since we last chatted, but in reality for you guys, it's probably been like not even 2 minutes. So I just wanted to give a little update. I actually went through the scene, and I actually did not have to edit as much as I was expecting. As I was reading, I was like, why is this so good? I'm like feeling like my writing in this is pretty awesome. And I'm like, oh my God, it feels better than what I've been doing. So I'm like, did I secretly like regress a little bit? ? No, it's really good. So I really did not have to change as much as I was expecting to. I did some of the things that I did change or add to was like the attire choice. Our characters here, when I first drafted this scene, they were wearing gowns. And then as I was like thinking on, like for the area that they're in, it makes sense to be in gowns. But for where the story is going to go, it does not make sense to be in a gown. Because I'm like, y'all be commando up in there naturally because you're essentially held captive. So I'm like escaping and you're like absolutely full backside exposed as you're running. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't love it. And so I actually had made the change to a jumpsuit. And so that was like a key detail that I've changed partway through between chapter like 3 and 5, I think, when I made that decision, because I was like, actually, I don't love that, like thinking about all the things that they're getting into and that are happening, and you're just like, I am full ass naked under this piece of cloth, and I hate that. So I made that change where they're actually in a jumpsuit, and so I had to make some adjustments to the scene where there are some things that are related to the gown or the jumpsuit. And just to make it make sense, obviously. And so when I did make that change, initially, I actually went back to, I think it was chapter 1 or 2, where I did mention being in a gown, and I made that change there too. And that's when I realized I was like, ugh, my writing could do a little bit of polishing there. Yeah, so that's cool. But I'm like, why does this scene slap so hard? And it's just, I don't know. I think it's like when I can vividly see the scene so clearly, I am writing as if, someone's taken my hand and like wrote for me that, the ancestors of writing have taken over or whatever. Like I said, I didn't really have to like make too many adjustments, just like some key parts that make it more consistent story-wise, like across the board, detail-wise. Yeah, it's really good. I just maybe added 100 words total, like really not much, as I made some adjustments. But I'm looking at the time and my brain's not totally in it yet because I know I'm gonna have to stop here shortly. So I think I'm actually gonna just take a break from this point, go do gym things, come back, and probably put like another hour in. So not quite a full hour this morning, but I'll take it. I'm really not mad about it, knowing that I have already 1,200 words already put down for this chapter. So I do have to think about some details in terms of how I want this next part of the scene to play out, because I have a general idea, but I'm not sure how the sequence of that event will lay out. So that's part of the logistics I was supposed to figure out on Thursday, but I was like, I'll get to it when I get to it kind of thing. So yeah, that past cast didn't really help us out, did she? But that's okay. So that is it for me. It's like 9:15, so perfect timing for me. I'm gonna go chill, go drink another cup of coffee. This one is gone, and I need another. So I will see you guys a little bit later today, and we'll see if we can finish out this chapter and hopefully AKA finish out this entire escaping situation. So we'll see. I really want to. My attention span, I don't know if you've noticed in my recent little video, it's been like one video, this video actually, but the last few days I've been a little bit more distracted. Like my distractibility is really high right now, where I'm just feeling like squirrel. And that's just how it is right now. But We're going to buckle down and we're going to get this done, knowing that I locked in really hard yesterday. I know I can do it again, even if I'm not feeling up for it. Again, it's another thing of like, what you feel is a lie sometimes, but asterisk. So anyways, I'm done rambling, but I will see you guys in a little bit. Talk later. Hi, hello. It is now later. So it is currently 5:52. I am coming on to basically say that I am not going to write for another hour today. It's going to be fine. It's fine. I'm just feeling very chill, hung out with some friends, and I'm feeling just like I want to hang out and vibe for the rest of the day, and obviously edit this video so I can get it out tomorrow is the goal. But I wanted to just, do some reflection and recap for the week because it is Sunday, the end of the week, in my opinion, that's how I roll, unless you're one of those people that usually do Sunday as the beginning of the next week, which I've done both ways, but I like to think it's a cap off. So I wanted to add all my total word count for the week and see where we're at. So since I added or included last Sunday's word count, I'm not going to include it for this week. So this week is technically a Monday to Sunday, which it will be probably how it is from here on out, unless I just didn't include the Sunday in the previous video or in the last full on count. So let me just add that up real quick. So Monday's the 22nd. Okay, so Monday I did 681 words. Wednesday I did 930. Yesterday I was on crack and did basically 2,263. And then today I've only added 69 words. Again, it was just through that edit of the scene and only just added some new things. I didn't really change up a whole lot. So that is totaling for 3,943 for this week. So not bad. I got 2 chapters out of that and obviously working on the next one. So that's pretty good. I am also another reason I wasn't really wanting to write later is that I just feel like I wasn't quite in the mindset of what I need to be to get the rest of my escaping plotted out or written out. I know what I'm going to do, but I know it's going to take me longer than just an hour. So I think I'm going to save the rest of my brain juice for probably tomorrow. Maybe do a longer session tomorrow, just take it easy today. Because in a way, I still did 4 hours this weekend. So we'll see. We'll see how we feel tomorrow, but at least an hour tomorrow is the goal. So yes, I did not reach my personal goal of getting out of this area by the end of the weekend and into the open world. But that's okay. I'm still moving along. So very happy with that. And we will do it tomorrow. Maybe get it all done tomorrow. I would say probably by Wednesday. Have it done. Have it figured out. I don't really want to be in this spot by next weekend, ideally. And I really don't see a reason why I would be. So I can see myself maybe still working on this chapter in particular because I think this whole chapter is going to be the last bit. I don't think it's going to be split more than just this one chapter. I don't think it's going to be 2 chapters or anything like that. I really don't see a reason to unless I really get carried away, which it's possible. Could happen. We'll see if the pantser comes out when I start writing. Very happy with where we're at. Chapter 11 currently. And a total of 24,014 words. So that is awesome. Again, we're working along the story pretty good. So I'm not mad about it at all. And I don't feel really that guilty for not doing another hour today. I say really because part of me is a little guilty because I'm all week I'm oh no, I don't really want to write, and then I'm no, be disciplined, and then I do pretty well. But I think just understanding that I'm kind of at my limit, so to speak, of knowing that I think the rest of this chapter is going to take more than I think it will, obviously more than an hour. So I am going to just take a breather and do a huge chunk tomorrow, which would be the goal. My calendar this week on paper is really not too bad. So I think I'll have a little bit more writing time, but again, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. You know, life happens, but it is deload week, so I'm not going to be in the gym as long, ideally. So we'll see. But yeah, that's all she wrote today. Thanks for hanging around. If you have been enjoying these vlogs as much as I've been enjoying talking about everything and like basically video diarying to you guys, please like and subscribe. If you reach the end of this video, please drop a little skull emoji or a bone emoji. It's part of the story, but I so appreciate you guys being here and witnessing all of this. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Love you. See you. Bye.